Hi, I'm Mary Morrissey. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get the videos like this one right when they're coming out. Have you ever felt like you were moving forward and then things just came to a standstill? Or you're working on a project or a dream that you have, or things are going along, and then you just feel like no matter what you're doing, it's not taking you forward and you're not making the progress you really want to make. So, what do you do in those moments? There's a tremendous value in having people in your life who you can turn to help you see things about yourself that you may not be seeing about yourself so easily. You know, there's an old saying that we can see other people's blind spots, but we can't see our own. Think about it. As a kid, you and your sibling may say, oh, well, you know how mom is, or you know how dad is. Well, you may know more about how mom is or dad is than they do. And the same thing for our close friends, our confidants. So how do you know if it's really a close friend you should ask for help, or a confidant you should ask for help? Sometimes the closest people to us actually have agendas for us. And when we ask for support, that's the moment when they're actually speaking from their agenda for us. So in a moment, I'm going to tell you 3 ways to know if the person you're talking to is actually the right person. Many years ago, my mother, I was in the personal development business. I was helping lots and lots of people. And my mother wanted to kind of know what I had gotten into. And there was a personal growth class offered through the church she attended. It was an 8-week class, so she signed up for this personal growth class. On week 3, she called me up and she said, well, each week we have different assignments, and this week we're looking at our own blind spots. And evidently we all have blind spots, Mary, and I don't know what my blind spots are. And so the instructor asked each one of us to call 3 people that really matter to us and ask them how do they feel manipulated by us. So I'm calling, I've talked to your dad, I've talked to your older sister, and I'm talking to you. Here's the question, how do you feel manipulated by me? And I was like, imagine getting a phone call from your mother who's asking you, how do you feel manipulated by her? And I said, can I get back to you on this? Let me think about this. And I hung up, and I realized that the moment she asked the question, I knew immediately how I felt manipulated by her, but I was hesitant to actually say it. But overnight, as I thought about it, I thought, she's calling. She seems sincerely interested, and she's wanting to grow. She's in this growth class. So I called her back the next day, and I said, so you really want me to answer this question, right? And she said, yes, I'm interested in whatever it is that happens that I do. I really want to grow. And they've helped us get ready for whatever you might say. And I said, well, here's what happens, Mom. And I said, I sincerely believe this happens because it's a good intent on your part. You don't want to interrupt me from my life or what I'm doing, so you don't call me hardly ever. You know, sometimes a week or 10 days or 2 weeks will go by and we haven't talked, and I'll go, oh, I got to call Mom. And I'll call you, and you go, oh, I'm so glad you called because I've been wanting to tell you something. And it leaves all of the calling placed on me. And what I would really love is that you call me whenever you want to call me. I love when we connect. Call me whenever you want to call me. And if I'm busy, I'll just say I'm busy and I'll call you back and you make it okay. And I'll call you whenever I want. And if you're busy, just tell me you're busy and you'll call me back, and then we do. And she said, well, I did. I was not calling you because I thought I didn't want to interrupt. I mean, you're an adult woman now, you've got kids, you're busy. And I said, but this is, to me, it's a blind spot that you don't know how I feel about that, and I haven't spoken up about it, so thank you for asking. My mother lived another 30 plus years. That completely changed our relationship because she asked a question about how I might help her see into a blind spot and how it was affecting our relationship. So years later, I turned the table on her. I was going through a very difficult time in my life and very disruptive area of my life. She and I were spending some time together one afternoon, and I said to her, so Mom, years ago you asked me about blind spots, and maybe I could see a blind spot that you didn't know you had and reflect that to you. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. Is there something you know about me that I don't know about myself? Is there something you can see that I don't see about myself that could help me if I could see it? And so she said, well, let me think about that. And a few hours later, she came back and she says, I know what it is. I said, what is that? And she goes, you will only see the good in other people no matter what it costs you. So you let people into your life who aren't the best people at times. You will only see the good no matter what it costs you. And I thought about that, and I could see that I could grow in that area of being able to discern better. I could still see the good in every person, but discern who I let close to me. And that was the beginning of a new era of growth and empowerment in my life. I don't know what's going on in your life right now, but I know that you have people in your life who can help. So who do you know and how do you know who to talk to get really good information and not agenda-driven information from the people that care about you? Everyone that you think cares about you, they do care about you, but not everyone has your highest good in mind. They may want you to be something that matters to them. So how do you know who to ask? I'm going to give you 3 clues. Number 1, it's somebody you care about who deep down you believe cares about you. Number 2, it's someone who has no agenda for you other than your fulfillment and happiness. No matter what you would say that would bring you fulfillment and happiness, they will support you in that. They support your well-being. And number 3, there's someone who is growing themselves, so they're not threatened by your growth. As you think about people in your life who could give you some honest feedback that could help you become more, that could help you solve sometimes enormous problems in your life, think about who you know loves you, who you love, that care about you and you care about them, someone who has no agenda for you other than your own happiness and fulfillment, and someone who is growing themselves so they're not threatened by your growth. And I'm going to challenge you this week. If you want to grow, find someone who fits those 3 characteristics and go to them and say, I want to grow. And I've been thinking that you know me, and there may be something you see about me that I'm not seeing about myself that could help me grow. If there's anything that you come up with, you don't have to answer it right now, you can think about it. But there's anything that you see about me that maybe I'm not seeing about myself that could help me grow, would you be willing to tell it to me? And open up to the growth that can happen through sharing and being open and transparent and willing to grow. Deep down, life is in every single one of us, and life is seeking growth. Everything that's alive is growing. And there's many, many different ways to grow, but one of the great ways to grow is having people around you who help you grow. I hope you have a great time this week in your growth experiment. And go ahead and sign up for these videos if you haven't yet subscribed.